Hello everyone, welcome back to the second channel. As always, I have a bunch of different topics that I want to discuss today. The video will be timestamped as always. Couple quick disclaimers before I get into it today. Sorry for any background noise or dust particles that may occur throughout this video, and these are just my opinions on all the topics that I'll be discussing today. So first up, I have a few music video reactions that I really wanted to do. So first up, I'm going to be reacting to the music video for Rina Sawayama's song Frankenstein. Okay, so some quick thoughts on this music video. I'm really enjoying it so far. I really think that the scenery really matches the song, and I just really like the set for it. I think that she looks great, and I really like the filters that were put on. I can just appreciate the attention to detail put on this video, and so far I'm really enjoying it. Hey! Okay, so that's gonna be it for the music video and my thoughts in it. Very cool overall. Like I said, I really appreciated the set and just the entire vibe of it. I thought that it was something that matched the song really well. I could appreciate her outfits. I thought it was cool at the end how like they reversed basically back to the beginning, and just all those little touches in it once again is something that I really appreciated, and I really think that it took the song to the next level. So I really like this. I like this song. I thought that the album was great. If you haven't seen my reaction, I will have a card on the screen right here that should take you to it. And I'm just glad that I finally got to watch it, and I definitely need to be streaming the album more. And I feel like it kind of just fell to the wayside because there's just so much music I enjoy that I'm listening to all the time. So a lot of times I don't get to listen to as much music as I'd like, but I really would like to stream the album again because I do enjoy it. One of my favorite albums this year so far, and the visual is great. Next up, I'm going to be reacting to the music video for Janet Jackson's song Together Again, the Deeper remix. So this is going to be cool. And let's get into it. So some quick thoughts on this music video so far. I really love the color palette for it. I really love the color palette for this era as well. I love those little butterflies because of course this reminded me of Mariah Carey's butterfly era, which is something that was happening at the same time as the Velvet Rope, so that was cool as well. And I just always really appreciate a great color palette, and it's just something that I always really remember. So I like that about it. She looks great. Of course, a completely different vibe from the original, but I'm enjoying it so far. Alright, so that's gonna be it for the Together Again Deeper remix video. My thoughts on it, really quite enjoyed it. Like I said, I love the color palette, she looked great for it, completely different vibe, and I just thought that it was something interesting overall, and I really liked it. Next up, I wanted to talk about some of my favorite Halloween outfits. So I really love Sky Jackson as Janet Jackson. I think that she absolutely killed it. I can just really appreciate the attention to detail, and it's just something that is done so well. So I think that this is probably my favorite of this year, and I can always appreciate whenever people pay homage to Janet, and this is just something that was really well done. I also really liked Lori Harvey as Beyonce. I believe she had a couple different outfits that she did, so that was something that was cool as well. One of them was from the Check On It video, and I think that she had something for Me, Myself, and I actually. So I thought that that was cool as well. I thought that she looked great. I believe I also really liked Lizzo as Marge Simpson, and I also liked Harry Styles' outfit. I thought that it was cute for what it was, and of course he did a picture with his band because he did it for Harry Ween. And so that was something that I appreciated as well, and I believe those are all the costumes that I really liked. There may be one that I'm forgetting. Part of me is like, there has to be one I'm forgetting. I don't remember what it is. If I do, then there will be a voiceover after this. We will have to see, but those are the ones that I like the most. Speaking of Harry really quickly, I did watch My Policeman recently, and some quick thoughts. I could appreciate it for what it was. As I said before, do I think Harry's the best actor in the world? No, I think that he's mid, if I'm honest. And so his performance in it was meh. He wasn't horrible, but he wasn't outstanding. And so yeah, I was able to appreciate it for what it was on the whole. I like the cinematography on it, and that's basically my overall thoughts on there. I feel like if you like Harry and you were thinking about watching the movie, it's probably going to be something that you would enjoy. That's definitely something that is worth noting as well. I believe this movie is like rated R or something like that, so keep that in mind. Overall, it was alright. I watched it on Amazon Prime recently. I figured I would give some quick thoughts there. Next up, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis were officially inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is something that is pretty cool, and Janet inducted them, and she looks stunning as always, and her look was reminding a lot of people, including myself, of the Control album cover, which was pretty cool as well. So that was a really special moment. I really love to see it. And I remember Janet talking in her documentary about how it took forever for her to get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I believe she had to have like Questlove lobby on her behalf and stuff, which is ridiculous. The woman is Janet Jackson, like she should definitely be in there. And she also has Black Hat, which is a great rock song, and she wrote that herself, by the way, the riff and everything. But anyways, I thought that that was something that's really cool, so richly deserved, and something that I would figure that I would share. Janet's been looking amazing recently. These fits are great. I love the hairstyles, and so that's something also worth noting as well. Hopefully she's finally going to be announcing the Black Diamond album and tour soon. Some people are like, oh, she's not going to do it, she's taking her time. Can I see that? Sure, but part of me still wants to have hope at this point. And now that I'm thinking about it, I just realized that I was going to make a community post about it, and I forgot to mention this on there, but I guess I'll do a separate community post. But basically, I mentioned in one of the videos that I did on her, and I basically said like, oh, I think like after the second week of November, like I'm gonna do it if she hasn't announced it, or like I was thinking about doing it. I was like, we're gonna see what happens there. So I thought about it, and I don't think that a video is going to be coming this month or next month for that matter, and here's the reason why. So basically, it's an entire thing of like, I just have so many other videos planned that I really would like to do this year that are more so time sensitive. I want to give Janet a little bit more time to hopefully announce everything, because I'm so scared I'm gonna post a video and then it's gonna become obsolete, and then I'm gonna want to take it down and redo it, or take it down and add a voiceover. So I'm really trying to give her some more time to hopefully announce Black Diamond. That's also part of it as well. And then I did the entire Velvet Rope Deluxe Tracks reaction, which was something I wasn't planning on doing because I didn't think it was gonna happen. And so normally I like to like rotate everything as well. So I think that that will come sometime next year. Hopefully she announces Black Diamond. But regardless, I'm still going to be doing more Janet Jackson videos next year. Of course, I have a revisit with me that I really want to do. I'm also going to be doing more album reviews and stuff. So do not worry, more videos on Janet will be coming on the main channel. But I just realized that I completely forgot to address this, so I wanted to do it here. And hopefully I can remind myself to put this on my main channel. That way if anyone's waiting, then they know. And I didn't 100% confirm. I was like, I think I may do it then, but I always left the door open to the fact that I might just do it at a later time because I want to give her more time to put the album out, hopefully. And so that's definitely something worth noting as well, but I really wanted to address that really quickly. Next up, Beyonce has confirmed a tour. So basically, I think they went to like this gala or something like that. They announced like giving away some Renaissance tickets or something like that. So basically confirmed that the tour is going to be happening. And so this is definitely something that I'm really excited about, as are a lot of other people, of course. And the tour hasn't been like officially announced by Ticketmaster or anything like that, but whenever it finally is, it's something that I'd really like to go to. I know that it's going to be hard to get tickets just because the demand is so high, but this is something that I would love to go to. I've never had the chance to see Beyonce live, so this is something that I think would be really cool overall. So hopefully I'm able to secure tickets for that, but that's definitely something worth noting. That was pretty exciting. And I figured I'd mention that because I talked about rumors about it in my last video. So there you go there. And then also Taylor confirmed tour, and tickets went on sale on Ticketmaster, and that was an entire thing. If you're a Taylor Swift fan, you know exactly what happened with that entire situation. Couple quick things that I wanted to say. Number one, Ticketmaster's evil. We already been new. I did not get tickets. I didn't even get a pre-sale code. My sister did not either. I think somewhere down the line we'll be able to get tickets and we will see what happens in regards to that. So I just hate how the entire situation has happened basically. I think that most of the blame is on Ticketmaster because they are monopoly, and I feel like they've just gotten greedy with all the fees and stuff that they're charging. It's just absolutely ridiculous what they are doing in regards to that. So that's something that is really annoying to me as well. And those are my main takeaways from the entire Taylor Ticketmaster situation. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, just go search up like Taylor Swift Ticketmaster and whatever in the YouTube search bar or on Twitter or whatever social media you want to use, and people have broken down this entire thing. But if you're a Taylor Swift fan, then you know exactly what happened, and I just hate Ticketmaster and the entire thing. But I really do have faith that I will be able to secure tickets to the Eras Tour, and it's just something that I'd really like to go to for sure as well. On the bright side, in terms of concerts, I did secure Anita Baker tickets for next year. Really excited to get to see her live. I've been really enjoying her albums and just excited to listen to more from her. And by the time I get to see her, I'll finally listen to her entire discography. I mean, it's going to be very cool overall. Next up, Lil Simz won the Mercury Prize for her album Sometimes I Might Be Introvert, which is a big deal. Absolutely congratulations to her. I was really rooting for her, and so very glad to see that she won, something that is so richly deserved. I don't think that I've seen her speech yet. I really need to go watch that. I think I was like, oh, I'll do it later, and then life caught up with me and other stuff, so I really would like to watch that, but something that's so cool overall. I believe Harry got shortlisted for it for his new album, Harry's House, so definitely congratulations to him as well. Next up, I wanted to talk about some recent Mariah Carey updates and just some cool stuff that has been happening. So one thing that I wanted to talk about is she released her annual It's Time video, and she does this basically on like the first day of November, or just like really late Halloween, and just signaling like, hey, it's time to start Christmas season. And for the record, she says that she just does this for fun. She doesn't really believe like in celebrating Christmas before then. Like she wants to celebrate it like after Thanksgiving, but she just really does it for fun basically. And so her video this year was absolutely spectacular. I wish that I could put it in a video, but I feel like I would get copyrighted somehow or whatever, so just go check it out on social media. It's on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and everything. But I really think that she took her video this year to the next level. Really love it, and it's become like a trending sound on TikTok, and we love to see it. I thought that it was something that was cool and fun overall. The Queen of Christmas, you absolutely love to see it. And also something that was worth noting is I learned that she was actually like on that bike at double speed, and they slowed it down for the video, so that's also something that is worth noting. I absolutely love the video, and I just think that she's really been stepping her game up every single year. The social media engagement for it was amazing. It has like 900,000 likes on Twitter, which is a lot, so that's something that's worth noting as well, and just something that I was really looking forward to, and she definitely didn't disappoint in terms of that. Next up, she was on Jimmy Fallon, and her interview was something that was very fun to watch as well. I always really appreciate her interviews, and so it was something that was cool overall, just promoting the new children's book that she just released. Shout out to my mutuals on Twitter because someone retweeted the link, so I was able to watch it live before it officially came out on YouTube and everything, so I really quite enjoyed that, and she looks great for the interview, I will say. And then next up, I guess I can talk about recently she was at the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, and so that was definitely something that was cool as well. And I guess that I can address this entire thing about, oh, she was lip syncing and blah blah blah. Apparently John Legend said that artists have to lip sync. I think that they said something about them not being able to accommodate like the sound system for it or something like that, and this is what John Legend said, by the way, and I swear I saw other artists saying the same thing. And so my thoughts on this, I honestly really don't care that she lip sync at all, just because like the woman has been doing music for such a long time. She's a legend in her own right, and I feel like she's like really earned the right to. It's an enjoyable song. It was a good performance. She looked great. Like I honestly don't really care that much at the end of the day. Like the song is still a banger regardless. So really quickly, I wanted to share my thoughts on the entire thing of, oh, she applied for the trademark of Queen of Christmas, and I saw some people say that the application was rejected, and I saw other people say that her team like rescinded it and they were like, oh, we don't want to do it anymore. But regardless of the trademark, Mariah is still the Queen of Christmas. Every year Christmas comes around and people want to try to diss her. Oh, she's only relevant during Christmas. Some of your faves aren't relevant at all. They completely fallen off. A win is a win. She is still Mariah Carey at the end of the day. And some people want to just try to give her title to other people, which I think is disrespectful because she's honestly earned it. But at the end of the day, Mariah minds her business and she's the Queen of Christmas. All I Want for Christmas Is You is a smash hit that she wrote and just really sang it to perfection. And so I'm just really tired of people trying to diss her and give her title to somebody else. It's something that really annoys me every year. But at the end of the day, Mariah is the Queen of Christmas, one of the best artists to ever do it, and a legend. And some people really gotta start putting respect in her name because it's getting ridiculous. So that's all I'm gonna say in that regard. Also, I just realized that I forgot to mention, we know that she's doing the shows at Madison Square Garden, right? I did post this on my community tab, but basically that is going to be live streamed on multiple streaming services on December 20th, I believe, something around there. Of course, the information will already have been on the screen right next to me. And so this is definitely something that I'm really excited to watch. She was just asking on Twitter the other day, like, hey guys, what songs would you like me to perform, basically? And so I put Never Forget You, Do You Think of Me, and I also put Long Ago because I don't think that she's ever performed any of those songs live. And so I really hope that she does those. We'll have to see what she does, but she said that she has some prizes in store. So people are like, oh, maybe she's gonna do Osana with Ariana and Jennifer Hudson, so we will see what happens. But of course, I'll remind you guys like a few days before, that way you guys can get prepared on the community tab on the main channel. channel, of course, and then I will also be giving my review on this channel. But I'm so excited to watch that, and I'm really glad that she's live streaming it for us, because I was already bummed that I couldn't go, but the fact that she's live streaming it makes it a lot better and something that's going to be fun overall. So very excited for that entire thing. And then I guess I can talk about recently, she just did this photo shoot today whenever I'm recording this, and it was so cool. And so there's a lot of people saying like, oh, this reminds me of Butterfly or Daydream Era, especially because she did a photo shoot for W Magazine for the Daydream Era, and then there's like this one specific picture that they were comparing to that era as well, and of course those will already be on the screen right now. And then like I said, to the Butterfly Era, and so those pictures were great. I really like the article as well. I really like her interviews and just the way that her personality shines through and what she's able to share with us. So I definitely think that that is cool overall. So that's definitely something that I wanted to mention as well. Next up, I wanted to talk about Abbott Elementary. Like I said, they are killing it this season. The last episode I saw was the Halloween episode, but just the way that they are fleshing out these characters, Greg and Janine, it looks like they're finally going to get them into a relationship sooner than later. I can appreciate a slow burn. I don't like when it takes 1800 years. That's my opinion. Ava's hilarious. Like, the second season is just so amazing overall. The best show on TV right now. Love what they're doing. So I just wanted to give a quick review of Abbott Elementary. Next up, I wanted to talk about Grey's Anatomy really quickly. So this season is definitely better than I thought it would be. I find myself actually wanted to watch the episodes the day whenever they come out on Hulu, which is something that was unexpected because last season this was not the case. And so I think the last episode happened, what, like a week or two ago, something like that. I believe they're on break, so I don't even think they're coming out in February. Also, something that always annoys me, why is the holiday break for this so long? I understand taking a break, but they don't even come back until like late February. You're telling me that you're taking breaks like mid-November and you don't come back till mid-February? I have to wait that long? Overall, the show is good. Is it as amazing as it was in the beginning? Obviously no, but it's definitely a lot better than it was last season. We have the new interns who are starting to grow on me more. Bailey's gonna be an attending. She stepped down from being the chief of the hospital as well. Maggie and Winston are having issues. Winston said, I'm moving specialties because this is ruining our marriage. Maggie is disagreeing with that. And then you have the entire thing with Meredith deciding that she is going to move to Boston, I'm pretty sure, for her daughter Zola. I really liked, I think it was the last episode that I just saw. I think it was like one of those rainy day episodes. I love episodes like that where there's like a storm happening or like rainy day type beat. Like those kind of episodes of shows always pull me in. I just love them so much. And so it's been a lot better than expected, I will say. I actually been enjoying it. Was not expecting this overall, so that's also something worth noting. I'm sure I forgot a lot I wanted to talk about because I actually watched these as they aired in real time, so that's also something worth noting, but it's been good overall. Also something worth noting with Grey's Anatomy, I think I mentioned this in my last video, but the creator basically said that even if Ellen Pompeo leaves, they want to continue because people still really love the show and everything, right? And then basically Ellen Pompeo just announced that she is leaving the show, which is something that is kind of shocking just because she said she wanted to leave for years, and now she's finally going. Like, she must have got tired of the paycheck because I know she's getting paid a lot of money, but she probably just said, you know what, it's not worth it anymore, my time is done. So she's officially leaving the show. So I'm really curious to see how long the show will keep going without her. Like, is it strong enough for them to get renewed without her? Like, what if it gets renewed and people think she's coming back and then she doesn't come back? I don't know, but it's really interesting. Like I said, I don't understand why you would have a show called Grey's Anatomy going on without the main character of the show, but hey, that's just me. But I mean, she hasn't really been in the show that much overall. I think she's only in like 8 episodes this season, so we will see what happens in there overall, but it's honestly not bad. It's honestly not bad. We're gonna have to see what happens whenever it comes back and if they find a way to mess it up. Like I said, it's not as good as it used to be, but it's something that I can enjoy. Also, I just remembered, I hate Owen and Teddy on the show once again. Some things just never change, do they? And then the entire thing of Joe and Link, like, are you guys gonna make them a thing? I really hope that you guys don't, but I hate that entire situation as well. Stop trying to get me to take Schmidt seriously. It's not gonna happen. Why do we keep trying to get Helen back on the show? Like, all these questions I had that will never be answered. So we will see if they come back and just ruin everything that they've done, like they can do so many times over and over again. One thing about Christopher, she's gonna write a horrible script, but I don't know. Something about the season is actually better than expected. So we will see what happens there. Next up, I wanted to talk about my birthday. So I believe I said in my last video that my birthday was coming up. To those who do not know, my birthday was on October 25th. I love my birthday. It is my special day and just something I look forward to every single year, of course. And I did turn 22 this year. And so it was a fun day overall. Thanks to everyone who sent me happy birthday wishes on the post I did on my community tab on the main channel. I really do appreciate that, of course. And so really quickly, I wanted to talk about like what I basically learned after turning 22 and stuff like that. Because I remember whenever I turned 21 last year and I had like stuff that I learned, and then by the time I got to filming the recap, I just completely forgot everything. And so let's get into it. So basically, I've heard a lot of people say like, oh, 18 to 21, like you change a lot, you grow a lot, you learn a lot and all that stuff. And I was just like, oh, like that's not true, whatever, like that's just a bunch of BS. I didn't really believe that, but after going through that, I definitely see what they mean. Like, I saw this tweet I think a bit ago and it was like 18, 19, and 20 are the exact same age, and I completely agree. I feel like 21 was the biggest year for me so far, just in learning so much about myself and how I'm running the channel and just growing so much in different ways. And so it was a really cool year, and I just think that it's been my most important year yet. And I believe I said that 21 was going to be my transition year. And so basically what I meant with that is that I was just setting everything up really well for my YouTube channels to kind of just transition into a different phase of how I wanted to do things and stuff like that. I hope that makes sense. But basically, I remember starting this year off and I was still recording videos on my iPad, and now I have the actual camera. And there's like been other things in my process that I've kind of like tweaked as well. And of course, this is something that I always do along the way. I find stuff I'm like, oh, that works better and stuff like that. So that's definitely something worth noting. So again, I just think that I was really right in terms of 21 being my transition year, just like in terms of everything that I was able to do. And basically, I feel like 21 was kind of just me setting everything up for better things to come in the future. And I feel like a lot of the hard work that I've done now is something that's really going to pay off. I feel like 2022 has been great for me overall. Really excited to talk about it in my end of the year recap and just share everything that I learned in terms of making videos and stuff, because I have learned so much, and there's just so much insight I want to share, and something that I'm really excited to do. So I cannot wait to do that video, of course. So basically 21 was just me laying the groundwork for everything that is to come, and I feel like 2023 is going to be my biggest year yet in terms of my YouTube channel. I'm just gonna say I have some really exciting ideas in terms of stuff that I want to make, and I'm just really excited for you guys to see it, and just excited for what I'm going to come up with. And I just feel like I learned so much this year that's going to help me start off stronger in terms of my YouTube channel and in life as well. And I just feel like I'm ready to start a new era overall. That's why I'm just so ready for January to come around. I'm really excited to change like my profile picture, because I've had that for so long, and like my little banner on my channel, and just little tweaks and stuff like that, and just to start anew and finish this year out for multiple reasons. So that's just something that I am really looking forward to overall. Yeah, 21, I feel like it was the year that was most important for me. I learned the most, and 22 I think is just going to be kind of like continuing upon that. And I told my mom this, but I think 23 is going to be one of my best years. And I said this before I turned 21, I believe, or maybe a little bit afterwards. And you're probably thinking like, well, why would you say 23 and not 22? Because I had to give myself time for this transitionary period in terms of me setting everything up for my channel and for my life and stuff like that. So I just had a feeling, I was like, you know, it's going to take me time to work the kinks out and just to grow and all that kind of stuff. But I feel like 23 really is going to be a big year for me overall, and 2023 is going to be a big year for the channel. And so we will see what happens in that regard, but I figured that I would kind of share like I've been feeling about that. But basically, I'm just ready for a new era overall, just in every sense of the word. I'm ready to finally get new glasses, because I've had these glasses for over 2 years and are all scratched up, and I'm so sick of them. I'm just ready for a lot of new things, so just really excited how everything is turning out, of course. And then I also did get a new phone, and so I'm really thankful for this. This is a new iPhone, and so I'm really glad to have this. It was definitely something that was time to upgrade. But basically, I feel like my best stuff is yet to come. I really feel like I'm just getting started, and I keep setting new standards for myself, and I'm just so excited for everything that I'm coming up with, and just finding new ways to challenge myself in terms of ideas and everything, and just finding ways to grow in that, because I think that that's really important. But that's basically how I'm feeling about turning 22. And now it is time to do my October recap for my main channel, Anastasia 25, and for this channel. So the first video that I posted in October was going to be me talking about my favorite Brandy song. It took me around 1 hour and 14 minutes edits. I did 2 takes, and I used mostly the second one. And so basically the way that I came up with this video is I was just like, I really want to do another talking video. Like I've said before, whenever I do so many reaction videos, I get kind of burnt out on doing them, and I just really want to do another talking video again. And I just really enjoy doing the talking videos for so many reasons, and I feel like I've been doing a lot more reactions and stuff like that, like lately this past year and stuff. So whenever I get to do another talking video, something that I always really look forward to, right? And I believe I've done like multiple reactions and stuff like that before. And so what happens a lot of times is toward the end of the month, it just gets really busy, and sometimes I'm just filming like every day for multiple days straight, and just editing and turning stuff out really quickly. And so I just need to take a few days off for a break, and I was like, okay, whenever I come back with my next video, I want to kind of like ease myself back into it. I really do not want to do another reaction and just edit it, right? And so that's kind of basically how I came up with this one. A pretty straightforward concept to do, right? And I believe a little bit before this video, I was like, okay, I need to finally finish her Discography, just because I wanted to finish it and see the other songs that she's done, of course. And then also, I just really wanted to do this video. So I was able to finish the Discography and just kind of listen again and see what I wanted to put on my list. And people in the comments were right. How did I forget to mention put that on everything in my honorable mentions? Shame on me. I really do like that song. I can't believe that I completely forgot about that. So thanks for reminding me in terms of that. But yeah, pretty easy video to do overall. And this was something that got more views than expected. I had this one mutual on Twitter, has like what, 100,000 followers, and then he retweeted it. So I think that it helped me a little bit, but it's definitely something that performed better than expected. So I'm really proud of it overall. It was a fun video to do in regards to that. And also really quickly, I wanted to say that I'm glad Brandy's okay, because I believe she had like a seizure or something like that. And so she said that she's good now, but that was something that was definitely concerning, because we cannot lose Brandy, the vocal Bible, of course. And I'm just really glad that she's okay. Overall, this video was fun to do, pretty simple with the editing, and just thankful for how everything turned out. The next video that I did was my reaction to Janet Jackson's The Velvet Rope Deluxe Tracks for the 25th anniversary. And so this took me around 3 hours and 30 minutes to edit. And so this is like an estimate, because I think I accidentally turned the timer off and then I forgot to turn it back on, because like I said, I know how long these videos take me to edit because I have a timer on my phone or whatever, and I'm just timing myself just because I'm curious, and I figured that I would share how long it takes. But I think I forgot to turn it back on, or sometimes it erases, so that's like a rough estimate. It could have taken me less time, could have taken me more. I don't really remember, but that's what I'm guessing in terms of how long it took me. And so this is something that was really tough for me to record, honestly, just because I was recording it and for whatever reason I felt this wave of tiredness hitting me. I probably didn't get the best sleep the night before. That just happens sometimes, right? And so basically I was really just trying to push through just filming the rest of the video. And so if you look at that video and you're like, oh, your energy doesn't seem the same as it always is, that's kind of like what was going on in regards to that. And so I was just really trying to get through it. And it doesn't help that a bunch of these songs are like remixes that are like 10 minutes long. So I was like, okay, just let me get through this, and then 10 minutes and 11 minutes, and it's like, whew. So that was just a lot for me to really go through in regards to that. And so I was able to get the video done and finished. And so it was something that I really enjoyed doing overall. I'm just really glad that we were able to get the deluxe version of the Velvet Rope with these extra songs that haven't been on streaming before, I believe, because this was something I just thought was not going to happen, did not have my hopes high. And I love Janet so much, and I really wanted something for the anniversary, but I just didn't really expect anything. So to have this was really a gift. And basically after I recorded this video, I tried to take a nap, but I couldn't fall asleep. So basically I just like got up, ate a snack, kind of like decompressed from the video a little bit, and then I just went to editing the video because I felt like even if I tried to go back to sleep, I wasn't really going to be able to do it. So I was like, I might as well finish the video. And for the record, after I finished recording a lot of my videos that aren't time sensitive for the most part, like if it's a new album, for example, a lot of times like I don't do that just because I want to get it out as soon as I can. So I'll take like a 5 or 10 minute break and stuff like that, and then I'll do it. But for stuff that's not really as time sensitive, or for this particular example, I normally do decompress and whatever, just to give myself a bit of time to just relax and like separate myself from the video, just so I can kind of go into it with like a clear mind and just be ready to edit the video, right? And so basically after I had that little break, I went and I edited the video. And a lot of times whenever I'm editing my videos, I just take like little 5-10 minutes in between. Sometimes it's more than that, just again because I need it. Sometimes if I'm focusing on it for too long, I can make mistakes that I normally wouldn't make, whatever, just because my mind needs a break. And as I said before, I hate editing reactions. They can be fun to do, they're just so time consuming to do, and it's like almost every time I do a reaction I'm like, wow, I never want to do this again. And of course I keep doing reactions just because they're something that are fun to do. I know that you guys really enjoy them and stuff. Yeah, I edited with breaks in between, and then I finished the video and I put it out for you guys to watch as well. And so I was gonna do a video on Alicia Keys this week, but I didn't do it just because I was like, I feel like you guys would want to see a video on Janet more. I would rather do that video, and Alicia can wait. And so that was kind of like my thoughts in terms of that. Overall, this video is something that did well for me. It's kind of similar to the situation with the 25th anniversary tracks for Mariah Carey's Butterfly album, like I talked about in my last video. Because you would think they're such big artists, a bunch of people are going to be doing reactions to these, right? But it turns out not a lot of people are doing them. There might be someone who's posted it after me, but at the time I posted it, I don't think I saw anyone posting it, right? And so basically what happens is a lot of people want to see reactions to that, and so they type that in and then my channel pops up. And so I'm getting all that traffic directed towards my channel, which helps. I think it's got like what, 200-300 views, something around there, which is decent for me overall. This is a video that I was very happy to make. Love Janet as an artist, so I'm really glad how everything turned out. The next video I posted was on this channel, and it was going to be my unboxing of the collector's edition of Beyonce's Renaissance album. So whenever I do vinyl unboxings, they're always pretty easy to do. The hardest part would probably just be me trying to shoot the thumbnail, which like I said, I call art direction just for fun. And so I have to remind myself to do that before the video and just get the angle right so the light isn't reflecting off of it too weird. So I have to make sure that I do that before, of course. And then also whenever I'm showing the record, also just making sure the light isn't reflecting off of that weird. And I'm just trying to show you guys the record as best as possible. So I mean, the video was pretty easy for me to record, did not take very long. And so very thankful to have the collector's edition in my collection, of course. And this video is something that did really well for me, and I was thankful for that because I think the video I posted before this flopped, and so this is like me coming back and making another video. And so it was something that did great in terms of the views for me. There was a point where I had like 300 views. I just checked it again because I was like, how many views does it have? It has 742 views. So thank you to everyone who watched that video, of course. I really appreciate it, and the vinyl unboxings are always something that are really fun to do. Next, I posted my reaction to Aretha Franklin's Spirit in the Dark album. It took me around 3 hours and 12 minutes to edit. So this was a really fun video to do, and I was very excited to do another video on Aretha, of course. So I really had a blast recording this video. And I feel like the shirt that I'm wearing in that video, I feel like it looks more muted than it actually is. I feel like it's more of a darker blue. Like I feel like it's coming across as like a different color on the video whenever. And I am doing the balance color option or the color correction or like whatever you call it. So maybe that has something to do with it, but I figured that that was something that was worth noting as well. And so in terms of how I came up with doing this video, basically on the Buy Me Please website, they had a version of this album and the variant just looked gorgeous. And I was like, you know, that is something that's cool. I really like the aesthetic of the album. I looked at the track list and the titles really intrigued me. And so that's how I choose which Aretha albums to react to for the record. And this is definitely one of my favorite Aretha albums. And so I definitely think that I made a great choice in regards to that. And it's regarded as one of her best albums. So really glad that I did it overall. And just doing that video was so much fun. Once again, it was just an elite night. And so it's always really cool for me to record reactions to albums and just look back at it and see what I thought of it at first and just diving into discography and not necessarily knowing what I'm gonna get. So I had a great time doing this one. And in terms of the views of this video, it's decent. It was something that did okay whenever I first posted it, but then over time it rose. I think it has 100 views now, something around there. So I'm really thankful for it overall. That is a great video for me, like in terms of the views. That's normally what I'm aiming for. That's what I'm hoping to get when I post videos, but it's not something that I necessarily expect. Videos are going to do what they are going to do, and every video has its intended audience. So even if they don't find it right away, they will normally find it eventually. And a lot of my videos just gain views over time, even if they didn't perform the best. And like I said, I can appreciate when a video does well, but for me, I just do videos because I enjoy doing them. And if someone watches it and like, oh, I really enjoy this, thank you for making this, and it connects with them, I think that that's really important as well. And so that's kind of like why I do the videos. Like I said before, views aren't everything. I just really like to talk about everything that goes into all my videos, and so that's definitely something I want to know in terms of that. I really like the thumbnail for this video as well, and just the atmosphere of it was elite.
Something that I wanted to add about this video is I believe I edited some of the songs the night that I recorded it, and then I believe I finished it up the next day, and then I rushed to get it out that night. And the reason why I did that is just because blue always reminds me of Tuesday. I know I'm not the only person who thinks this. I swear I told my sister this and she was like, oh, nobody else thinks that, or blah blah blah. Anyway, but basically because of that and La Vibe, I really wanted it to come out on a Tuesday, and so I really had to just finish editing it up and get it out. And so that's also something worth noting as well. So I really wanted to add that because I forgot to talk about the editing process and whatever. Not too bad because it's a short album as well. Also, I remember I got my new phone like the day that I was like posting this video basically, and then whenever I did my screen recording, because it has a higher resolution, it looks better on TikTok. So little things I wanted to add about this video.
The next video that I did was my reaction to Alicia Keys' As I Am album. This took me around 4 hours, 15 minutes, and 6 seconds to edit. And this video was a doozy to edit because, as I said in that video, her albums are always so long, and it wouldn't feel like an eternity if she didn't put 18 billion ballads on them. Because the first half of her albums, I'm really with her. I'm like, this is great. And then she just drags it down with ballads every single time. And so her albums are like always an hour long. And so it's just always something to get to in that regard. So I felt like I was filming that video forever. Also, like I said, a lot of times whenever I'm recording videos, I get interrupted in some fashion, and then I have to stop recording and start again. And so it kind of just takes me a second sometimes to kind of just get back in the headspace I was whenever I was recording the video. So I didn't edit any of the video the night that I recorded it just because I didn't feel like it. And I went to sleep later than I expected. So I woke up later than expected the next day. And then I was like, wow, and now I have to finish the entire video in one day, which is something that I've done for reactions before. It's just something that is like, wow, I have a lot on my plate and just trying to figure everything out. And so it's just something that can be a bit to take on, because I try to edit some of the video the night that I recorded. That way I don't have to do as much the next day, and it really depends on my turnaround for the video. So sometimes I like to record it like a few days beforehand. That way I'm really giving myself a cushion to edit and like spacing it out between 2 days. It doesn't really take me that long to edit a video, like I've said before. Normally I can edit most of my videos in one day in a few hours. It really depends on what the video is for sure. But like I said, a lot of times I kind of like to space it out a little bit. That way I don't have as much to deal with and whatever. But yeah, so basically I had to edit all of it the next day. And so my first upload of the video was fine, but there was a couple shots in it that I really didn't like. Sometimes whenever I'm recording reactions, I'll look at my little monitor I have just to make sure that I'm recording, because sometimes I get nervous that I forgot to start recording the video. So I just like to check that every once in a while. And of course I don't want you guys to see that. So sometimes it's like shots like those or just other unflattering shots that I hate. So I'm like, let me go back and edit that out. And that's happened with me with multiple videos where it's like the video is basically done, and then I'm like, no, I hate that shot, I'm taking that out. And then I'll go back and edit that out and then re-upload it just because I hate it so much. So I fixed the video and then I re-uploaded it, and then that's when I make the thumbnail. And 99% of the time, that is when I make the thumbnail for my video. Sometimes I make them before I start editing the video just to give me more like motivation to want to start editing the video. It really depends on if I have the shot. Sometimes whenever I do thumbnails for my videos, like I pose in the beginning, so that's what I'm going to use for the thumbnail, right? Whenever it's a reaction, I like to just choose like a random frame that I like the most and just have that. So if I've like already finished it, or like I already have the frame that I'm pretty sure that I want, I'll do it before. It just really depends on that or whatever. I like to finish the thumbnail early as possible just because that's another thing that I don't have to do later. Sometimes they can be more time consuming than others, just trying to find the right pictures and aspect ratio and stuff like that. But basically I did the thumbnail whenever I was re-uploading the video, right? And in the end, I was up until like 6 or 7 getting that video ready for you guys to watch, rewatching it, doing the description, doing the cards, doing the end screen, and just doing all those little tweaks to make sure that everything is perfect, of course. And so whenever I first posted the video, it didn't really do that well. And so over time, again, this is when that rose in views for me. I think it has like 86 views, which is something that's really decent for me overall and something that I really do appreciate as well. But like I said before, that is literally the last video that I'm going to do listening to Alicia Keys' album. And I have listened to more of her albums since then, and I think next year I'm going to do a video talking about what my thoughts are on her entire discography, and I have plenty of them, and I really would like to talk about that. So I think that's what I'm going to do then. But yeah, I definitely don't see myself reacting to another Alicia Keys album. At least that's my personal opinion. She just drags on way too long with these albums.
Something else that I wanted to say is I don't understand why I was like, oh, based off of first listen, I think that this is her best album when I have more skips on that album than her first 2 albums. That doesn't really make that much sense. And her first album is her best album in my opinion. I've been appreciating some gems off of there in the past few months. And like I said, I'll share more of my thoughts on her discography whenever I do the video on her. But listening to her first album more, I was like, why did I say that? That didn't make any sense. And that's been bothering me, so I wanted to put that here. I might put that on like a pinned comment in that video.
The next video that I did was one for this channel. So I talked about what I wanted on Midnight, new Rihanna and SZA music, thoughts on Grey's Anatomy and more. And it took me around 5 hours and 45 minutes to edit. And so this was such a challenge to record just because I was talking for like an hour and a half straight, which I normally do for these videos. And whenever I talk for that long, my throat really starts to hurt. And I feel my throat hurting right now, and I haven't even finished recording this video, so I have even more to go. But it's just something that happens. I'm normally recording for a long time and then having to cut it down and like stumbling over my words and stuff like that. Overall, I had fun recording this video. It was something that I was really looking forward to doing. I like how the thumbnail turned out and the topics that I had to discuss as well. Editing this video was really challenging just because I had so much footage to comb through and just make sure that I got everything right. Also, every time that I kept thinking I was done with the video, all these announcements kept happening. I was like, oh, I really want to share my thoughts on that. For example, like Beyonce and Taylor touring and like little things like that. So I had to keep doing voiceovers. Like I said, I hate doing them because it takes me forever to get them right. So that was already something that was frustrating in itself. I had so many pictures to add in, and also I had to make sure that my sequencing was on point because I was like, where does this make the most sense for me to edit it in and also do it that way and make sure that I did it correctly. So sometimes I mess up the sequencing and I mean for one part to go in a certain place and then it doesn't. So I also have to watch through it diligently just to make sure that I didn't mess anything up in regards to that. So basically I started editing this video one day and I just did like the topics that I was discussing for that month and also my September recap, and then I was like, I'm not staying up all night to finish this edit. And so then I went to bed and then I was able to finish it the next day. Also, I had to keep editing this video because I made so many mistakes in the editing and stuff like that, which is why I always do 2 edits of my videos just to make sure that I'm getting most of the stuff. Normally 2 edits for it is fine, but sometimes I mess something up and I need to look at it again. And so that's always something worth noting. I noticed that I did mess up in terms of the editing for it. Whenever I was talking about my unpopular opinions video, the thumbnail appeared too early. And so that's definitely something worth noting as well. I didn't notice it until I was rewatching it and I was like, oh dang, I forgot that part. But like, it is what it is. I definitely made worse mistakes, so you kind of just have to live with it and just like move on. Like, it is what it is. Like I said, whenever I work on a video for 5 hours, something like that, I just get so fed up with it and I want it to be done. And this is something that has happened multiple times on the second channel. And just editing a video for that long, it just feels like you're never gonna be finished editing it, and there's just so much detail to add into it overall. So it was a challenging thing to edit, but I'm glad I got the video done overall, like how the thumbnail turned out.
So I just realized I forgot to talk about the performance of this video in terms of the views. So I just checked and it has 55 views and meh. And so, I mean, it just is what it is in that regard. It's really interesting how whenever I do these types of videos, it's like they don't have as many views as like my vinyl videos, which makes a lot more sense, I will say, in regards to that. But it's just interesting because I put like way more effort into these videos than the vinyl ones, and they tend not to perform as well. I still really enjoy doing them on the whole, but I figured that I would talk about how this video performed.
Next up was going to be my reaction to Taylor Swift's Midnight's album. It took me around 5 hours and 28 minutes to edit. So this was really a challenge for me to edit. Like I said, I normally like to take breaks in between editing songs. So normally I do like 2 or 3 songs, then I'll take a break and then I'll come back and do that and so on. But I try not to take as many just so I can get the video out as soon as possible. And sometimes whenever I take breaks, it's like 20, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever it is, and it just goes on way too long. And it takes me longer to edit the video than I planned. So I really tried not to do that this time around. And then I had a Twitter notification on my phone, and then it was Taylor announcing that she did the 3am track. And so luckily I didn't like change my outfit or anything, and my hair was just tied up in some like little ponytail, so it's not like, oh my gosh, like I have to like do all this work to get ready, and it wasn't really that big of a deal. Then I just sat down and then recorded the rest of the songs. Then I had to refill my favorite songs, I believe, and my overall thoughts on the album, because I feel like the deluxe tracks changed my thoughts on the album overall. I really wish I would have filmed the outro again just because it looks off. Like the way that the camera was positioned was different. It is what it is. And I was able to edit everything and put it out. And I don't even think that I went to sleep until what, like 11 a.m., 12 p.m. the next day, whatever, just because it took me forever to edit the video and put it out. And then I also have to promote it on like my Twitter, my Instagram, and also my TikTok. And like I said, I screen record the videos on my phone whenever they come out on one of my other YouTube accounts. And then I have to shorten that in iMovie, put the text on TikTok, and then I also have to do like hashtags and stuff and just make sure everything's good. And a lot of times I'll do multiple TikToks in the same day, and then I'll like post them a few hours apart. Now I'm making sure that I get my video promoted and stuff like that. But the video did well for me. How many views does it have? I think it's like 500 or 600, something around there. So this is for me overall. Really enjoy the album. And I also think that recording album reactions, whenever like I watch it back, I'm like, wow, I really didn't have that much to say about that track whenever I first listened to it. Sometimes you have to see other people's interpretations and you're like, wow, I didn't think of the song this way. Or sometimes you have to sit with it a little bit more and then it kind of like unlocks something for you, or it grows on you or whatever. And so that's why it's cool to do the updated opinions videos, because I can go into so much more detail in terms of what the song's about, how I'm feeling about it, how's it aged for me, did it grow on me, did it not. And the video on my updated opinions was interesting to do for this album, and I'll talk about that in my next video recapping November.
So I forgot to say that I don't really care for the thumbnail in this one too much. It's just because the picture on the left is way higher than the picture on the right, and I couldn't make the album album cover any higher just because then the song titles like would have gotten in it, and that kind of looks tacky for the thumbnail. For me at least, I wanted it to have a little bit more of a clean look, and so I tried a bunch of different pictures for the picture on the left, but that is kind of off in terms of like the ratio or whatever. I don't really like it that much. I like the pictures, but the entire thing of how the thumbnail turned out, it kind of like is what it is. Not my worst thumbnail, but not particularly fond of it. And whenever things end up this way in thumbnails, it just always bothers me because it looks a little bit off to me. But I tried a couple different thumbnails changing it, and this is the one that I like the best. I like having the piano, but to me.
I said whenever I recorded my reaction to the Bejeweled music video, which we will talk about later, that I scrapped my anti-hero reaction, and it was just something I was like, you know, I just don't need to post this or whatever. There was all this discourse going on or whatever, and so I was just like, man, I don't really feel like posting it. Do I think my reaction was that great? No. So I was like, man, I'll just keep this. Like, not everything has to be posted. I record multiple videos every year that just never see the light of day. Sometimes it's just like I started listening to the album and I just didn't bother to finish it, so why would I post a video that I couldn't even be interested enough to finish? Sometimes it's like I record a video, but it's like I just don't really want to get into the discourse or whatever. So like stuff like that. Sometimes I just don't like how the video turned out and I filmed something better. So in the end, it was just the best decision to scrap this, and so that's my thoughts there in terms of that. The next video that I did was me talking about my favorite debut singles of all time. It took me around 2 hours and 8 minutes to edit. So this is a video that I thought about doing before, but I think my focus shifted on to doing my favorite debut albums instead, so I think that's why I ended up doing the other video. And like I said, that video took me like 5 months after I came up with it to record, just because it's like, oh, I need to listen to more debut albums, and it kept getting pushed back. Ultimately, I think that was for the better because I was able to get this camera, the quality is great, I was able to give so much more detail than planned, and so it would not have been as good if I would have released it whenever I came up with the idea and just like wrote everything down. So I'm really thankful that I actually waited on that one. And so yeah, I think I came up with this idea around then, and then I was like, oh, I'll just do the debut albums video and then I'll just come back to this later. I believe I was listening to some Rolling Stone podcast because they have one talking about music, right? And they're talking about their favorite debut singles of all time, and they didn't put Mariah Carey Vision of Love on there. And so that's definitely something that doesn't sit right with me. One of the writers doesn't like Mariah Carey and consistently gets things wrong about her career, and so that really bothers me as well. But anyways, because of all that, I was like, you know what? It's finally time to do this video once again. I really wanted to do another talking video. I really like doing these list videos and just like little countdowns and stuff like that. It's something that's really fun for me to do, a cool concept overall. That's basically how I came up with doing this video in the first place. This was fun to do, and I recorded this on Wednesday because the next day was going to be Taylor Swift's Midnight's release, and I had other stuff I was doing that week, and so I just had other videos to do and whatever, so I was like, if I don't get this done now, it's just not going to get done or whatever, so I just had to film it on that day, right? And so I actually did do that. So for this video, I did 2 takes, as I always do. I used most of the second take, and then I used parts of the first one, and like I say, it's really good that I filmed 2 takes of all my talking videos. I cannot tell you how many times that saved me. I forgot for the Brandy video, like whenever I'm counting down, I'm like, oh, now on to number 5. I think I said now on to like track 5 or something for one of them, and if I didn't record it twice, then I would have just had to like cut one part out and it would have been like not right. But because I filmed it twice, and I was like, oh, let me take this part from like whatever take. So that is something that helps me and to save me time and time again, and that's why I will always do all my talking videos twice, because it saved me more times than I can count, honestly. And so that's definitely something to note in regards to that. And so I didn't edit this the night of. I really wish I did. I stayed up later on that night than expected, and then I edited on Friday. I think I started late Friday night, like 11 or 12, something like that. Like I said, it did take me a few hours to edit it and just make sure that everything was good in that regard, and then I was able to finish it up and put it in the YouTube studio and stuff like that. And so then basically the HD quality on this took forever to kick in, which was something that was annoying as well. And this was something that I posted the day after I did my Taylor Swift video because I wanted to have 2 videos out that week. So I believe this video did decent in views for me overall. I think it has like 88 views, something around there. But I'm really pleased as to how the thumbnail turned out and a fun video to do overall.
So I had 2 things that I wanted to add in regards to this video. Number 1, I did 11 songs because technically Work It Out was Beyonce's debut single and it wasn't Crazy in Love, but I really wanted to have Crazy in Love on there. I know some people don't consider that her debut, fair enough, right? And so I was like, you know what, let me throw an extra one on there. That's kind of how I came to 11 in terms of that, and then also that is partially how Cardboard Box even got in the picture as well. In regards to the thumbnail, which I was just talking about, I did it this way specifically because I wanted to have one song from every decade. So Mariah's the 90s, Alicia's 2000s, Hairstyles is the 2010s, and then we have Flow for the 2020s. So that was on purpose, and I thought that it was cool. Then for the debut albums, I think it was a similar thing going on with that thumbnail as well. So I kind of wanted to do something cool for that in regards to the thumbnail. Like I said, I really love how it turned out. And then the last thing that I wanted to say is whenever I was talking about Sign of the Times by Harry Styles, and I was like, oh wow, who releases a piano ballad as like the first single because it's like 6 minutes or like whatever it is. I'm pretty sure that Zane Lowe said that first, and like I agreed with him, so that's like why I said it. But I want to kind of give credit in that regard because I should have just said it that way, like, oh, as Zaynlow said, because that's what I always say, like, if I hear someone else say it, and then I wanted to say, like, oh, I agree with this, or blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to add that in, because I think that that is something that's very important, and it's very important to me to always try to give credit to people who say things and whatever. And it's really hard to be original whenever I'm coming in here talking about my thoughts, but there's also, like, stuff that I heard that I agree with, and, like, influences and stuff like that, and whatever. And so I hear a lot of people saying things like, oh, I naturally agree with it. So I wanted to add that in really quickly.
On October 23rd was the Harry Styles concert that I went to, obviously, and did my concert review on this channel. If you haven't seen it already, I'll have a card on the screen right here to where you guys can go to. But the timing was just so inconvenient with all the videos I was doing and just life and everything, but obviously it went. But that's definitely something worth noting as well. Next up was our unboxing of Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation 1814 gray vinyl. Took me around 37 minutes and 12 seconds to edit. But like I said, vinyl unboxing is pretty straightforward to record, film, and edit, so it didn't really take much time for me at all. And I recorded this on the 18th and I put it out on the 23rd just because I feel like that was best to do. And I also have to think about whenever I'm putting out my videos in reference to my main channel. A lot of times when I post these videos, it's whenever there's a gap in between my main channel videos. That way I'm able to take the time to edit it, and that way if you guys still want another video but maybe I haven't filmed the main channel video yet, or I'm not done editing it, or like whatever the case is, I still give you guys something, and so I can have the video out and still let this channel do its thing, because I'm trying to upload at least like twice a month or more. And so it's really important to have a good schedule with coordinating everything, because I don't want to post like too many videos back to back to back. I really want to let my videos breathe, so that's why it was put out on the 23rd. Thankful for how the video turned out, and I'm really glad to have Janet Jackson on vinyl.
So I just remembered a few things about this video that I wanted to add in really quickly. So number one, I'm pretty sure that I edited this the day that I recorded it just so I could have it finished, and then I put in the YouTube studio for the 23rd. Second thing that I wanted to say is that this got like 98 views, which is decent for me overall, so thankful for it. And I just realized that I forgot to talk about the views earlier, so I figured I'd add that in. The last thing that I wanted to say is very cool, because I did this by accident. Basically, this video came out on the anniversary of the Rhythm Nation song, which is something that was very cool to me. I did not realize this until Pop Base tweeted. They're like, oh, today's the anniversary of Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation. And I was like, oh wow, this is something that I did completely by accident, but you absolutely love to see it.
The next video that I did was me sharing my thoughts on Beyonce's B-Day album. It took me around 2 hours and 26 minutes to edit. So this is a video that I wanted to do on her for a very long time, and then life happens and just other videos take priority and whatever. And like I said, a lot of times whenever I do videos on Beyonce, they're really close together, so I'll do a video and then she does something, I'm like, let me react to that, whatever. And so basically how I came around to doing this video is I was scrolling through all the comments left on my channel. Every once in a while I like to do this, just rereading over old comments and stuff. And sometimes there's ones that I miss, so I like to go over and read through everything. And so I saw one that I don't remember seeing before, and it was like, oh, can you talk about Beyonce's B-Day album? And I was like, yeah, I definitely will do that. And because my birthday was coming on October 25th, I was like, what is a more fitting time to finally do this video, right? And so that was kind of the motivation behind me doing this video and getting it out in the timing that I did. And so basically I recorded this the day before my birthday. I did 2 takes as I always do. I believe I used most of the second take and some parts for the first one as well. Something that bothers me about this video is there's like something on my face at the beginning, which is something that annoys me, but like it kind of is what it is in that regard. So like I said, I recorded this video the day before my birthday, and I don't think I was able to record it until like hours after I planned, and like I said, that just happens sometimes, right? And so basically I was just trying to hurry up and edit it because I really wanted to post it the day before my birthday, because like I said, I really had no intentions of posting on my birthday. Like I said, my birthday is my special day, and I don't want to worry about, oh, how's my video performing and promoting my videos and stuff like that. Like that's what the rest of the year is for, at least in my personal opinion, right? And so I was really trying to hurry up and finish editing it, but there was just so much material to go through in terms of the footage. Not only am I talking about the songs on the standard edition, I talked about my thoughts on the deluxe tracks and international tracks, overall thoughts on the album and all that kind of stuff. So that just takes time to edit and get the pictures and all that kind of stuff, right? And so it was just something that took a bit for me to put together in the end. So unfortunately I was not able to finish it in time. And so I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just put this out on my birthday instead, which like I said, was something I originally not planned to do, right? But the reason why I was like, let me do it, well, number one, the album's called B-Day. It was released to coincide with her 25th birthday. So I was like, you know what? It's kind of fitting in terms of that and just something for fun as well. And I just really wanted to get this video out. I didn't want to have to wait another day to put it out and everything. And so I was like, you know what? I should just put it out on my birthday. It's something that will be fun. And so it's an idea that I really warmed up to, because originally, like I said, it's not something that I necessarily planned at all. I'm pretty sure you guys saw my second or third upload of the video. Like I said, there was probably like a shot or two I didn't like in the video, or was like, oh, let me add in this picture, just like little tweaks that I made. So I had to re-upload it a couple times. And then I watched that video so many times before I let you guys see, just to make sure that it was good and stuff like that. I really did not want to put out the video and then it messed something up and then it like ruined my entire day, especially because that was my birthday, like my special day of the year. So I was like, let me make sure this is right, of course. And so I watched it more times than I normally do, just to make sure I mentioned all the songs. And that's something worth noting. If I'm talking about my thoughts on the album and the songs, I make sure I have my phone right next to the screen and just make sure that I'm like scrolling down and making sure I talk about every song, because there's been times where I forgot to talk about a song. I'm like, great, now I have to go find the footage and throw that in, and then it takes me longer to edit the video than I planned. So I was like, I'm not going to mess this up. So that's something worth worth noting in that regard. But I'm really thrilled with doing this video, and I'm glad that I stumbled upon that comment, and I'm glad that I waited so long to do it because it wouldn't be as good as it is if it would have came out like a year ago, in my personal opinion. Of course, love how the thumbnail turned out, love the era, love the album. So much fun to do, really quite enjoy it. And I think this video has over 100 views for me, and it's a decent for me, so I'm really happy with how this video turned out overall. Probably one of my favorite videos of this year, honestly.
Something that I wanted to add on this video is, like I said, I didn't want to post it on my birthday just because whenever I post new videos, I'm always looking at the YouTube Creator Studio just to see how it performs, and my birthday is just like my one day for me, so I don't want to have to be concerned like looking at that and whatever. I'm just curious about the stats, that's why I look at it. So basically, kind of as a compromise to myself, after I watched it a bunch and put it out and did all my TikToks and whatever I needed to do for it, I didn't really check YouTube Studio on my birthday as much as I normally do, just so I could enjoy the day. And honestly, I think that it's something that was refreshing for me, and I was really able to appreciate the day overall, and it was a good day for me. So I definitely am glad that I didn't check it as much. And then I remember for the thumbnail specifically, it was really hard for me to get the right shade of blue. Even now, I don't think that it's perfect looking at it once again, but I really tried my best to get the right background in PicStart and everything. But I really like how the thumbnail came across overall. I love this era so much. Probably my favorite era from her. So I just really love how the video turned out overall, and I'm proud of it. I just realized that I forgot to say the reason why I was able to have it saying like, oh, this is posted on my birthday and it also happens to coincide with Beyonce's 25th birthday and blah blah blah, is because whenever I was recording the video, I knew that it possibly might not get out on the day before my birthday like I hoped. So I basically recorded that part just in case that we could have that to kind of like throw in or whatever, mention that. So that's how I was able to do that. I didn't go back and record it as far as I remembered, but I figured that I would add that part in.
My next video was posted on here, so it was my reaction to Taylor Swift's Bejeweled music video. It took me around 46 minutes to edit. So I recorded this on the day after my birthday because the music video was coming out on my birthday. I think it actually came out the night before, but I was editing the Beyonce video and stuff like that. I told you guys, I was like, I'm not going to be filming a video on my birthday. That is just something that is going to be a special day for me. Last thing I want to have to worry about is recording a video. Like, it's just not going to happen. I told you guys that, right? And so basically, I was like, well, I need to get this video done as soon as possible, so I recorded it the day after my birthday. Pretty easy edit. It was fun to do. I like how the thumbnail came out overall. And then on the same day, I recorded my reaction to Adele's I Drink Wine music video. It took me around 37 minutes to edit. I actually uploaded this twice. The first time it got a copyright claim on it, so then I had to just take some parts out and then upload it again. This was also something that was fun to do. And so like I said, whenever I record two videos in the same day, there's multiple ways that I can go about it. So sometimes like something will come out early. Let's say something comes out like 5 p.m., right? I record my reaction to that, edit it, and post it. And then sometimes something else comes out at 9 p.m. I want to react to. So record that, edit it, and post it and stuff like that, right? Sometimes two things come out at the same time, really close to each other, so I'll just film those together just because it's a lot easier for me to do. So I basically just recorded those right next to each other. I edited and uploaded the Taylor video first. I thought that it was something that was more time sensitive and stuff like that, so I was like, let me get this one first. And then I edited the Adele video, and then it was able to get posted the same night. And actually the Adele video ended up performing better, which is interesting. I thought Taylor would have more views, but I guess it makes more sense. I feel like there's probably more reactions to the Taylor Swift music video than there is to Adele, just because Taylor Swift is a more popular artist, so my Adele video probably stood out a little bit more. I think that's what happens in regards to that. The Adele video has like 200 views. I don't even know if the Taylor Swift video broke 100 views. And it kind of is what it is in that regard. Like I said, it wasn't really that much work to do, so it is what it is. I'm glad to have the reaction out for that video, and the Adele video was fun as well. The next video that I did was my reaction to Harry Styles' Music for a Sushi Restaurant music video. It took me around 23 minutes and 16 seconds to edit. So this was announced the night before, and then I was like, ooh, this is something that I'd be really interested in doing, right? And so then basically the next day I filmed it as early as possible, which was like, what, 4:35, something around there. It's really loud during the day, so that's why I record most of my videos at night for the record. And so I was like, I really want to get this done, but I had other videos I was recording that day, so I was like, let me just finish this as soon as possible, basically, right? And so I got the video done, and then I was able to edit it and upload, and like I said, it didn't really take me that long, so I'm very thankful for it in that regard. And so something interesting about this video is I was actually going to post this on my second channel at first. The reason why I didn't is because I just posted 2 videos the night before, so I was like, you know what, let me let those do their thing, let me let those breathe, let me post again on the main channel, of course, and just have something over there. And also, for every single music video for this era, all my reactions to them have been on the main channel, so I was like, you know what, I will just continue with that with this one. And so in terms of the views, it did decent for me. It has over 100 views. Isn't it like 180 something? I think that's what it said. Maybe it's more than that, maybe it's less than that. I honestly do not remember at all, but it's something that I'm happy with in terms of the views. It's a really fun music video for me to react to, and I just had a good time. I like how the thumbnail turned out as well. The next video I posted was my reaction to Rihanna's new song Lift Me Up for the Black Panther soundtrack. It took me around 17 minutes and 51 seconds to edit. So enjoy the song more than expected, and you're probably wondering why isn't the video still on my channel. So basically why I took the video down is because she had Johnny Depp in her fashion show recently, and that just didn't sit right with me. That man is an abuser. I'm on Amber Heard's side. Apparently the tide has shifted on that a little bit more, and now people are like, maybe he wasn't wrong, because it is weird that you keep dating people 20 years younger than you. It's where you're having previous partners sign NDAs and saying, oh, you can't talk about the previous relationship, and paying them all this money to be quiet and all that kind of stuff, and he's a menace on set. So I just do not like him as a person. If that bothers you, then unsubscribe. I don't really know what else to say. And so that entire situation just really rubbed me the wrong way, right? And so that's why I took the video down, just because it's like after that I couldn't really see the song in the same way, and she has to be held accountable for having him in her show, because why would you do that? There's just no level where that makes any sense. Also, I took down the video that I did, and it was me talking about my top 10 songs by Rihanna and stuff like that, just because that situation really didn't sit right with me. This whole situation just made me look at Rihanna differently overall, and so I really thought about it. Maybe my video on the top 10 songs, maybe that should come back, just because it's completely unrelated to the entire thing. I mean, the Black Panther thing isn't really related to Johnny Depp at all. It's just because, like, I guess it's her newest song, and just because of that being all fresh and stuff, it's just, I don't know how really to describe it. It doesn't really make that much sense. Hopefully you guys can get what I'm saying. But I mean, my top 10 songs is still my top 10 songs, so I'm like, maybe I should bring that back. I don't know. Part of me is like, maybe Rihanna's just like in a probation period with me. Maybe I can go back and listen to her music more. Am I feeling that excited for a new album in the Super Bowl right now? No, honestly. So that's some thoughts there. That entire situation bothered me. Maybe the top 10 songs video should come back. I don't know. Do you guys want to see that video back? Do you honestly care? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe I should bring that back. Maybe I shouldn't. The Black Panther video, I mean, I don't know if I should bring that back. I don't want to do something that's distasteful or anything like that. It's just aligning yourself with someone like that. That's definitely something that is problematic. And so that entire situation just really did not sit right with me. Just after that entire thing happened, it's just like, it made me not want to listen to the song again or just support anything that she's doing in the future. Like I said, maybe Rihanna's in a probation period with me, so maybe in a few months I'll be like, you know what, maybe I should just have the video back out. I mean, I honestly don't know. Will I listen to Rihanna in the future? I don't really know right now. I mean, I kind of see myself feeling like two ways. Like, this entire situation just not really sitting right with me. Rihanna has to be held accountable for that, and whoever was the one who was like, oh, we should have him on there, has to be held accountable for that. And maybe she doesn't know about the situation. I don't know. That's also something worth noting. And the reason I haven't talked about the situation is just because I try to focus my videos on music, so that's why I haven't really talked about it at all. And, you know, let me know if you guys want it back. I don't really know what I'm gonna do at this point, but I thought that that was worth noting, and I kind of feel like I'm just talking in circles at this point and just getting on the same point over and over and over again. But that entire situation is tasteful, and that's something there. And in terms of the performance on this video, it got what, like 600 views for me, something like that. I honestly thought that it could be bigger because it was her comeback single, but again, it was something that's for a soundtrack, and that's still a lot of views to be thankful for in that regard. So that's like how the video performed. But honestly, with all that, the video performance doesn't really mean that much to me, like in reference to this video basically. And like I said, I appreciate when people come and watch my videos, but just that entire situation kind of just left the bad taste in my mouth, and so now I don't really care about the analytics of this video, if that makes any sense. But I really wanted to address that. The next video I did was my reaction to SZA's song Shirt. It took me around 39 minutes to edit. I'm thankful to finally have the song. I love SZA, so this was something that was a treat. We had this snippet for over a year, so it was finally time to eat once again with some new SZA music. Love to see it, right? And so this one got like, what, 700 views? Something like that. I don't really remember, but it did decent for me overall, so very thankful for that. And so basically I filmed this video and the Rihanna video on the same day, and so I posted Rihanna first because I felt like that would get more views because it was her comeback single, and then I posted SZA, but ultimately I ended up being wrong and SZA got more views in that regard. The next video I posted was my concert review for the Harry Styles concert that I attended. So it took me around 3 hours and 10 minutes to edit. And so I actually did film this video the same day that I filmed the Taylor and Adele stuff. So I did the Taylor and Adele stuff, got that edited and out. And then I think I took a little break and did the Harry thing. I'm pretty sure that that is what happened in that regard. I think that that makes the most sense to me. And I think that I was really up late recording this because, like I said, for the talking videos, I do 2 takes. And I'm pretty sure I did 2 takes for this one as well. So I was up till what, 1, 2, 3 a.m. I don't remember how long, but I was up late recording this. So that's definitely something that is worth noting as well. And then for this, I kind of mashed up the best parts of both takes. A lot of times if I do 2 takes, I use like 80% of the second take and like 20% from the first take. This one is like more so evenly yoked because I had sections I really liked from the first take and sections I really liked from the second take as well. So basically I felt like this video was really time sensitive. I wanted to have on my review for the concert as soon as possible just because then I would be really fresh on my experience and I could share everything that happened, and so I wouldn't forget little details and stuff like that. So I really wanted to have this video out as soon as I could basically. One thing that was challenging with this video is I was really trying to think like, when am I gonna have the time to edit this, because I had other projects that I was working on. I was like, okay, I have to film these videos in this day and stuff like that. So it was really a balancing act for me to do. I believe I started editing it the night before it was released basically, and then I finished it up the next day. And I think it came out like late the next day, something around there. I think that makes the most sense to me. I believe that was my thought process in that regard, and I believe I just started editing it whenever I did, just because I was like, if I don't do this now, like, when am I gonna have time to get this done? Because I'm gonna keep pushing it back and keep pushing it back and keep pushing back. So I just really wanted to have it done. And so this is a video that came out on October 28th, and I think you guys saw like my second upload of it, because I did one upload of it and most of it was fine, but the entire thing was like, there was like a clip or two that I thought was like repetitive, I think, and sometimes I just like look at stuff, I'm like, I really don't need to have in that part twice, because I'm basically saying the same thing, or like a frame I didn't like or something like that. So I edited that out and then I re-uploaded it again for you guys to watch. Overall, it was a fun video to do. I wanted to add as much detail as I possibly could, and so basically I changed the format for this. Why did I choose to do that? I watched this video by Calvin Michaels, and he did a review for a Janet Jackson concert that he went to, and he had a really great format for it, and I was like, you know what, this is a great format. And I was like, you know what, maybe I should kind of like make my own version of it. I wanted to include as much information as possible, have a lot of videos and stuff like that, and so I figured that this was just the best way to go, and a real good upgrade from whenever I did my Paul McCartney concert vlog, for example. I like how the video turned out overall. The thumbnail was alright, and so the performance on this video is interesting, because when I posted it at first, it didn't really do the best, and then over time it gained more traction. TikTok might have possibly helped me on this video, not 100% sure, but I did post some clips on TikTok, and one of them got like 100 likes and stuff like that, so that might have helped me. It might have just picked up in the algorithm. I've gotten really good with tagging my videos correctly, and so it pops up whenever you search up hairstyles concert review or something like that. I think it pops up first or something like that, just because I was able to tag it correctly. So I think people finding it and being recommended, and the algorithm, I think, did its thing. So now it has like what, 100, 200 views, something around there. I don't really know, maybe it's more, it's less, I don't really remember, but overall it's done decent for me in terms of that, so I'm thankful for that. And the concert was great, and so if you want to know my full thoughts, you guys can watch the review. The next video that I posted was my unboxing of Fiona Apple's Extraordinary Machine album, the Vinyl Me Please variant. It took me around 17 minutes and 24 seconds to edit. So this record came earlier than it was supposed to. Vinyl Me Please said that it wasn't going to ship until December, but it came earlier, so I was like, okay, I need to add this into my schedule. I wanted to get the video out as soon as possible, just because I wanted to be the first person to post an unboxing of it, so the best way to do that obviously is to post it first. And so basically as soon as I was able to film it, I did, and so that's kind of what happened in regards to that. And the views, it's decent. I think it has like 80 views for me. Really happy to have this album in my collection. I've wanted it for so long, so thankful for how the pressing turned out. Good video. The next video that I did was me unboxing every single variant of Taylor Swift's Midnight's album and also the Target CD. It took me around 33 minutes and 20 seconds to edit. It's fun to do. You guys have no idea how challenging this thumbnail was for me to do, and like I said, I always have to shoot the thumbnails before I actually open up everything, so it was really challenging just because there's 5 vinyl records in the CD just to get everything right. And then basically I had to go and then do the thumbnail again because I forgot to have the CD. So that was an entire thing, and then basically I'm just like recording for like 2 or 3 minutes and then just trying to find a good shot to use for the thumbnail. So the thumbnail was challenging overall, but I enjoyed doing the video. Like I said, these were things that I got for my birthday as a gift. The only one I asked for was the J. Agree variant, and so to have everything else was something that was really cool overall. Thankful for that. And so I'm really glad how the video turned out. It has like what, 600 views, something around there, and so it's done really well for me, so thanks to everyone who watched it, of course. Taylor and Fiona were recorded on the same day. I posted Fiona first just because no one else had posted an unboxing of that. I wanted to be first like I was talking about earlier, so I did that one. The next video that I did was my revisit with me on Mariah Carey's Daydream album. It took me around 7 hours and 58 minutes to edit. So this is a video that I had considered doing in the past. Of course, naturally doing a revisit with me on the Butterfly album, I really thought about doing one on Daydream. And the reason why I didn't was just because of One Sweet Day. I just didn't really want to re-listen to it for a video because I cannot stand Boyz II Men, right? So I was just like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to do it. If I am, it's something I'll put on the back burner, like maybe I'll do it later, right? And so whenever I did the revisit with me on Butterfly, someone asked me if I was going to do the video on Daydream, and I was like, you know, I don't think so. If I am, again, it's going to happen next year, but no promises. Basically, then the album's anniversary came along, and I just had so much fun re-listening to it and just thinking about the songs and everything, and I just started to think about how great me doing a revisit with me on this album could be, and there was just so much more detail that I could add. Now, whenever I did the video ranking the songs in Daydream, it's really not that long of a video, and so I've only grown in terms of how I'm sharing my thoughts, and the revisit with me's are always so much fun to do just because it has so much detail, and with Mariah, I'm doing the music videos, so I was like, you know what, this would be something that's great for me to do, and I think it works nicely as a companion video to the Butterfly album. Daydream was the start of her getting a lot more control over her music, and then Butterfly was her leaving Tommy and stuff like that, and just really having so much more control over her music and image and stuff like that. She really flourished during that time, so it kind of made a lot of sense for me to do the video and stuff like that. So definitely shout out to the person who recommended it to me, because if they hadn't, I don't think that the video would have came this year at all, and if it did, it might have came later than it did. So definitely shout out to the person who recommended it to me, of course. And so this is actually the Mariah video that I wanted to do last month. The reason why I didn't do it is because the anniversary tracks for the Butterfly album came out, so I just did that instead. And so I already had that, and I was like, well, I already have a video for Mariah, so I'll just do this one next month. And so that's why this video came in October. October and not September. And then also this video got delayed again because it was like I had this bad acne on my face, and I really hate recording videos whenever I have acne. It just really is annoying to me, but you do what you have to do in that regard. But I was really trying to wait it out for it to go away, hopefully, and it didn't really by the time the video came around. So like, it is what it is in that regard. Also, I partially delayed it because I still may have information about Long Ago the song coming. So I was like, if I wait a little bit more, maybe I can have the information for the video. I still do not have it to this day. If I had the information about the song, I would have shared it, of course, but it was something I was kind of like waiting in that regard. So that's like why the video didn't happen, because I really wanted it to come out like a week before it did, but that's basically why, because I was really trying to wait out the acne. And then of course I had all those other videos that I just told you about that I was doing in between with Harry and SZA and Rihanna and all that other stuff. So I was really just trying to get that done, of course, and that was something that was going to take priority. But basically I recorded this video as soon as I possibly could. I recorded this on October 28th, and basically the reason why Taylor and Fiona came first was because those videos took a lot less time for me to edit, and they're more time sensitive. And also this video, like I said, took me almost 8 hours to edit, and so it's just something that was going to take a lot longer. So I was like, you know what, let me finish the Fiona and Taylor videos first, and then I can just come to this one, because I hate whenever I start editing videos and I have to put down the project to finish something else. Like, I would rather just start something and finish it as soon as possible versus like starting something and then, oh, I had to go to this and finish it and upload it and blah blah blah, because it's just something that really annoys me and like throws me off in the entire thing, and I just rather start something and finish it. But that's just how I personally feel about it. So it's like, let me finish that other stuff, and then whenever it's time, I'll finally do this. And like I said, so I recorded this video on October 28th, right? And this video was just challenged to record. I didn't record it until like 2 hours, I think, after I wanted to, something like that. I recorded later than I wanted it to. It is what it is in that regard. And then we have a dog, so the dog was barking the entire video, and so I had to like strategically edit out certain parts of songs because of that. And so there's certain parts like I'd be talking and then the dog would bark and then I have to talk again, and so it was like really annoying in that regard. So that's also something worth noting. So the video just took longer for me to record with that. And then you have the entire album to listen to, the music videos, my commentary, me stumbling up over my words and having to edit stuff like that out. And so I just had so much more detail I wanted to add to everything. So that also took me a bit in terms of the recording of this video. I think it was up to like what, 1 or 2 a.m. just recording this video, making sure that I got everything right for it. Also, it's worth noting, because this video was delayed, I was able to record the video on my second channel talking about new SZA and Rihanna music possibly, and like my recap and stuff like that. And so if I didn't end up delaying this, then I honestly don't think I would have had time to film the video. I think it would have got delayed. So in the end, it's something that worked out the best in that regard. So for this video, I had a little under 3 hours of footage, so there was a lot of material to comb through. I also had to edit in the pictures, music videos, and this is very time consuming for me to do, as I've mentioned, just searching everything up and just making sure I have everything that I want and the high quality and stuff like that. Also, I had a lot of voiceovers to do. Like, there was stuff that I forgot to talk about, like the concert at Madison Square Garden, for example. I was like, oh, I had to add in this part and just stuff like that. Like I said, I hate doing voiceovers. The voiceover that I did whenever I was talking about her having to make concessions for this album that she did for Butterfly took me forever. I honestly do not know how many takes this took me to do. Like, it was just something that was so time consuming and annoying, and I did it multiple times over and over and over again, because I really had to make sure that I was articulating myself correctly and that everything made sense. And so that was definitely something that was irritating for me to do in itself. So that is why it took me so long to do this video. Also, I found stuff on Wikipedia and Genius that I didn't see whenever I was researching everything the first time, so I had to throw that in as well. And so whenever I knew I was going to do this video, I did all my research for it a couple weeks beforehand. Some of that's just me reusing stuff that I did whenever I made the first video on Daydream, making all the songs on it, and then I was also going on Wikipedia and Genius again just to make sure I didn't find anything else. And I thought that I did everything, but I guess I should have just done another comb through, and stuff like this happens. For example, it kind of just is what it is in that regard. So I saw those things, I was like, you know, let me edit that in the video and just make sure that I have everything perfect. And then so this video was uploaded like 3 times, because Once We Day got copyright claimed twice, and luckily that was the only song that got copyright claimed, because if you watch my videos talking about the revisit with me on Butterfly, you understand what a nightmare that video was to edit. I had to upload that video 12 times. I think it took me, what, 11 hours to do? Something around that. I go into way more detail in that video. I'll have a card on the screen right here, hopefully, to where you guys can check that out, and I go into a lot more detail. I really was scared it was going to happen again with this video, so I was really trying to just edit out a lot of parts of the songs just because I didn't want that to happen again, and just try to be cautious with my editing, basically. So like I was saying before, Once We Day was copyrighted twice, right? And then there was also a section that was put in the wrong place. So whenever I shared my updated ranking of the songs, it was way too late in the video. I don't know why I sequenced it that way in the beginning or whatever. It's probably the way I had it written in my notes. I was like, you know, this does not make sense at all. So I was like, I have to put this early in the video. So then I had to move all the clips way earlier in Final Cut Pro. I had to rewatch it again multiple times to make sure that I didn't mess anything up. And there are also like some mistakes that I believe I made or other clips I didn't like that I had to edit it as well. So that's why I uploaded it 3 times. I stayed up all night to work on this video, as I really wanted to have it out by 10 a.m. the next day, of course, because it's the last day of October, right? And so that is something I was able to make happen, and I am so thrilled with how the video turned out. I love the thumbnail for this one, and this was a concept that I was really thinking of and just really excited to put everything together. Sometimes I think of pictures I want to use for the thumbnail, and then unfortunately the aspect ratio doesn't end up working, so I have to scrap the idea. And so I did multiple thumbnails for this one, and a lot of my videos I do multiple thumbnails for. I just kind of go with which one I'm liking the most. Sometimes I switch it and see how it performs in the algorithm. It really depends. But I really like this one the most, and I showed it to my sister, and we actually agreed. We're like, this should be the thumbnail for the video, and most of the time that doesn't happen. I ask her for her thoughts kind of just because I want her to confirm what I'm already thinking. Sometimes she disagrees with me. I'm like, you know what, maybe you're right. Sometimes she's like, you should make this tweak or whatever. I'm like, maybe you're right, and I go with what she thought. But I'm really glad that we both agree that this should be the thumbnail. I think that the thumbnail is something that is so tastefully done overall. Love it so much, and how the video turned out and everything. And then also, this is going to be my 5th video that is over an hour, and currently this is my longest video of all time, and so I just really love how everything turned out, and so I'm really pleased it was over an hour. Like I said, because I had to cut so much out of the butterfly video, I barely made that video an hour, and you guys saw how much I was talking in that video, right? That video barely made an hour because of all the copyright claims and stuff. I really thought that was gonna happen again with this one. I wanted it to be an hour, but I wasn't sure if it was gonna happen, right? And so then basically I was able to make it happen, so I'm really thankful for it in that regard. So that's definitely something that is cool as well. Another longer video for the channel. It came out on Halloween. Love how everything turned out, and I was up late, you know, promoting this next day, whatever. I went to bed and then, you know, rested up and whatever, but really thrilled with it on the whole, and one of my favorite videos on my entire channel. Definitely one of my best uploads this year.
So I had a few notes for this video that I wanted to add. Number one, I had this like long sleeve black shirt that I was gonna wear. Think of the shirt that I wore in the Rina Sawayama video whenever I talked about that album. Also the shirt that I believe I wore whenever I reacted to Aretha Franklin's Aretha Now album. So it's basically like the same company, it's just in a black colorway, but it just wasn't giving. The shirt wasn't looking right, so I just had to scrap it. I was like, let me do something else, right? And then I was like, well, let me wear this shirt for the video. And I'm glad that I chose to wear this shirt just because I think it's a lot more dynamic. I think it makes the thumbnail look a lot more interesting, and also the color of the text is similar to the color of the text on the Daydream album cover as well. So I think that it works better for the thumbnail. For me and the thumbnail, I'm pretty sure that I had to reshoot that video because, like I said, I post in the beginning of my videos just so I can pose for the thumbnail, but sometimes I don't put my head down enough so you have the ring light in it, and so sometimes I do alternate shots because of that or whatever. But sometimes I like look at that after I film it just to see like, hey, do I need to sit down and pose for the thumbnail again? So I'm pretty sure that I posed for the thumbnail again so I could have it for the video. And then also something that I wanted to note is, like I said, I did post this on Halloween, and I think that I'm gonna post my revisit with me's or maybe just a video on Halloween in general every single year. The vibe was immaculate, and so it's just something fun. So I think I'm gonna be posting on Halloween every year. And I think that I forgot to talk about the views on this video. So it has over 100 views, something that did well for me, and so everything just really came to fruition nicely on the whole for the video, and I can appreciate that.
So overall, I posted 19 videos in October on both of my channels combined, which I'm pretty sure is the most videos I've ever done in a month ever. And you're probably wondering, like, how are you able to put all of that together? Well, I'm already used to making 2 videos a week at this point, so I kind of already have everything down in terms of, okay, I need to film on this day, and I know how long it's going to take me to edit. I don't always have my videos out on the same day. I don't always film on the same day just because life happens and whatever, but I have a pretty good idea of that and whatever, so that's really not that hard for me to do. And so the ending of the month was something that was really challenging for me to do. I hate when stuff happens like this to where I have to film every single day, and like there was times where I had to record 2 or 3 videos in one day, and it just felt like, wow, I'm recording every single day for like a week straight pretty much. Like the last week of October, I think I had like what, 1 day off, and I think that was like my birthday, something around there, and then I had the Harry concert as well, but I recorded pretty much every other day. There was just so much material to get out, and so basically because there was so much that I wanted to do, I basically just wrote down this note on my phone, and it was like one of those little checklists, and I just wrote down everything I wanted to do just to make sure that everything was right, I wasn't forgetting everything, and everything was sort of by priority. You know, what is the most time sensitive, what do I need to get out, and just really have a game plan, and just recording and editing, and just really trying to be a well-oiled machine. And I really like doing videos, and I like getting them out and being productive as soon as I can. I really try to have, you know, a fast turnover time, so I like to record the video and have it out within a day or 2 of when I recorded it, just so my thoughts on the album are pretty close to what I was originally thinking. I don't like to sit on videos very long, so basically as soon as I'm recording a lot of videos, I'm going straight to editing it. Also, as I work my way through all the videos, I coordinated everything in my calendar as I always do. I mentioned this, whenever I have a video I want to do, I always put in my calendar the day that I think the video is going to come out. That way I make a mental note in my mind, okay, let me record the day before, and I go mostly with what I write down for videos. Sometimes I scrap videos, sometimes I'm like, okay, I want to move this video up, sometimes I push the video back. It is what it is. But using the calendar and coordinating it with the notes is something that's really helpful for me. And so basically something I learned about myself is I'm really organized with stuff that I like, and so organizing everything for the channel is pretty easy for the most part. Some weeks are really challenging to record, like the last week of October was just so much to do with all the videos and stuff like that, like I was mentioning, but luckily I was able to figure everything out with the notes and just get everything sorted to my liking, which is something that is worth noting. In the end, it paid off because I had the highest views on my second channel that I've had all year, and my main channel was successful as well in terms of the views, so everything paid off. Thank you to everyone who watched the videos and supported. It means so much to me. Next up, I wanted to talk really quickly about some changes that have been made to the channels and just stuff that I've done, and I like to just talk about this stuff just to keep you guys up to date and just have transparency and stuff like that, because I definitely think that that's important, right? So in my last video, I mentioned that I was going to be taking down the Rex Orange County videos I did because of the sexual assault accusations. Like I said, I take that very, very seriously. So all that stuff, I was like, has to go, no question, right? So all that stuff went, and then there's other videos I did where I mentioned him in it, so then I had to go and edit it out. On this channel, I had a video whenever I was reacting to a music video for one of his songs, so then I had to go and edit it out and update the description, and then I also changed the thumbnail for it as well. And then I also had another video I did whenever I reacted to a song that he did, so then I went and I edited it out. I had videos I talked about him on my main channel that I edited out. Like I said, the videos that were just dedicated on his albums I already took down as well, so it was just like stuff like that that I had to coordinate, and it was something that was very time consuming to do as well. Also, I took down the reaction to Mary J. Blige's latest album because of the Rent Money controversy. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go look at the credits to Rent Money. Obviously, I didn't know all that stuff before going in. As I mentioned, if I would have known all that, I definitely would not have reacted to it. I don't support that man. As I said multiple times, it's egregious. He has to be held accountable for that. I went over that situation in past videos. I'll try to find those and link those down below because I really just do not feel like going over it again. But basically, even though that part was edited out, I still really struggle with that. At the end of the day, I came to the conclusion I didn't want that video out anymore, because whenever I do videos and albums, for the most part, I like to talk about pretty much every song on there. Of course, there's exceptions where it's like I'm not going to listen to the song because I don't like, you know, someone who was featured on it or whatever, but that situation was something that was completely different and whatever. So even though I edited that part out, I didn't feel like it was enough. I didn't still want to have it on my channel. I wasn't really still listening to the album after the situation. So after I really thought about it, I was like, you know what? It's really best for me to take the video down. And so I watched my past video where I was talking about it. And I was like, you know, at the end of the day, the situation was bad. I don't stand by everything that happened in that. So I was like, you know, it's really not worth it for me to still have this video up. And honestly, thinking about it, like after I found out the situation, I should have just taken it down immediately, and I regret that. That's definitely something that I will own up to, of course. And I feel like partially I was kind of trying to find excuses for justifying keeping the video up because I worked so hard in it. It's like I work hard on my videos, yes. I stay up late a lot of times for my videos, of course. But at the end of the day, something egregious happens where I view the artist and the album differently, like that kind of situation, then it really doesn't matter how long I worked on the video at the end of the day. And it is something that's made me check the writer's credits a lot more, which is something that is important, of course. But at the end of the day, thinking about my channel and the values that I represent and all that kind of stuff and what I'm trying to do, I was like, I just don't want this video up anymore. So that's why that video's gone. That video's permanently going to be down forever, and that's the decision I made. I'm standing by. And like I said, whenever I found all that stuff out, I wish I would have taken it out in the first place because all that stuff is not worth it or whatever. I made the clarification I didn't know, but at the end of the day, it wasn't something that I should have still kept up, and I do recognize that, and that is something that I wanted to say as well. It's important for me to hold myself accountable in situations like that, and it's something that I've really been reflecting on the past few months, and the past month I came to the conclusion I just don't want this on my channel anymore, right? The video that I did on the My Life video is still up. Why is it up? I guess just because I like the album. I haven't been able to listen to it after that entire Rent Money situation has went down, and it is a revisit with me, so I don't know, I guess someplace in my heart I just wanted to have that kept up because it reminds me of better times before all that stuff happened, so I think that's why I have it up. Maybe that video should go to, I don't know, I really cannot see her the same as an artist. I've not been able to get in her discography like I hoped after that entire situation, and it just really rubs me the wrong way, and just other stuff that I found that she said. So something that I wanted to add is whenever I do these kind of videos and I'm giving my monthly recap and I'm sharing my thoughts on them and stuff like that, the point of them is basically just to share the videos that I did, my thought process at the time, and just share where I'm at as a creator and all that kind of stuff, basically. And so due to that, I didn't edit out the parts whenever I was talking about the Rex Orange County video that I did or about the Mary J. Blige video, because yes, I took those down, of course, but I still posted them at the end of the day. They were still up for a certain amount of time, and that was my thought process before I had certain information for the Rex Orange County thing, because obviously I didn't know. And then that was my thought process at the time with the Mary J. Blige video and explaining myself, right? So I think it's really important to have that context because there's people who watch the video who watched that and everything, and I think it's really confusing to kind of edit that out and act like it didn't happen. So basically what I mean by that is, for example, after I posted the video on here addressing the whole Mary J. Blige situation, I always promote my videos on my main channel, so I was like, oh, I have an update on the Mary J. Blige video that I did and blah blah blah. And so basically, like, if you're already familiar with it and then you go and then it's edited out, that's also confusing. Also, if you weren't familiar with it, you're like, wait, what happened? So that's what I mean when I say it's important to have context, because I'm constantly referencing my old stuff, and so it's important to kind of tie those threads together and just make my stances known, which I've done multiple times over. And same thing for the Rex Orange County thing, of course. Like I said, I don't support him after the allegations, and so that's why I didn't go back and edit those for the context and everything, and made sure I had the pinned comments to tie everything together. And so that's why I have that there. Of course, on those specific videos, whenever I'm talking about it, I have a pinned comment, and I think that it's important to address how I'm feeling about it over time and just make it clear about how I feel about this and my stances and stuff like that. And I really try to link everything together really, really well. So I talked about it in subsequent releases and stuff like that. So if you actually go and you watch all of these videos this year, then you can see me talking about it and giving updates, and I try to timestamp really well. So I think that that's something important as well, and just to kind of show my progression as well and just my thought process. And with the Mary J. Blige video, even whenever I talked about the controversy at first in the video that I did on it, I said that potentially this might be something that I could take down, and it's something that I really struggled with over time. And then I thought that editing out that song
song was just good enough. But overall, I realized I just didn't want to have that album reaction on my channel anymore for the reasons that I stated. So it's really important to share my progression and everything, and also important to have context as well. And that's also why I value having the transparency and just letting you guys know updates and everything. Because for those who watch the video, it can kind of be jarring if you go back and watch it and like, wait, I thought you posted blah, blah, blah. And it's really important for me to explain. So I really wanted to have that clarification as well.
And so also I made a bunch of playlists for the channel as well, just organizing everything better. So I have a playlist with all the talking videos that I did, album reviews, list videos, talking about the Grammys, all of those kind of talking videos are put together. And I did a bunch of other playlists on the channel. I really try to have playlists that are very specific to what I do. I had playlists for the artists and stuff like that. And I think that the playlists have helped my content a lot. So that's also something I want to say. And then also I was able to edit out the part in the Aaliyah self-titled reaction. And it was because I had the same part in there twice. And I tried to edit that out before in YouTube Studio and it would not let. So basically I had to go back again, and then I was finally able to do that. And that's something I've been meaning to do forever, and then I forgot. And so that is also something that I did as well. And I think those are like the big major changes that I've done as well. And like I said, I like to address this just for transparency. Like, I don't want you to go rewatch the old video and like what happened in that part. So I want to address these and how my thought process changes over time. So those are changes that I made to the channel to make it better. So of course over time I'm going to try to get better with making videos and just holding myself accountable and stuff like that. I think that that's something that's important, worth doing. So I figured I would just explain everything that I think is going to make the channel better and my reason behind doing so. Lastly, I wanted to say thank you guys so much for 900 subscribers on the main channel. Right now we are at 938, which means so much to me. All these milestones are a big deal. And I know every time I say thank you I get so repetitive, but I can't really think of anything else to say. Just the fact that people take the time out of the day to watch my videos is a huge deal to me. I appreciate the comments, I appreciate the insights, and I just appreciate all of it. So thank you guys so much. And then on this channel we have 116 subscribers, which is a big deal for me. My goal for this year was 100, and so to be able to surpass that, I cannot even explain how much that means to me. And so all the support is just something that I always carry with me, and so I just always try to make the best videos that I can.
Something worth noting is that I actually have the community tab feature on here now, which is pretty cool because whenever I got it on my main channel I had to have 500 subscribers to reach that, so it's nice that they're giving it to you earlier. I don't know how much I'm going to use it just because my main channel is more popular and I tend to use it more, and I feel like it's a more accurate representation of like what people want, and people are more active with that one because they have more subscribers. So I might just stick to using the one on the main channel, but I'm really glad to have it here as well.
And so whenever I hit milestones like these, I wait until I hit like 5 or 7 more subscribers, like whatever it is, until I say thank you, just because my subscribers fluctuate. So it's always whenever you hit like 100 followers on Instagram that someone wants to follow and you're at 99. So I kind of just wait for like stuff like that. And I have been fluctuating in terms that like I hit like what 802 and then I lost what like 4 subscribers the next day, and then boom, I was back to where I started. That happened like 2 or 3 times to me, mind you. And it is what it is in that regard, but that's kind of why I like to wait to say thank you and everything. And that's something that I thought that I would note as well, just kind of like being cautious in that. But I cannot explain how much everyone's support means to me. Overall, I'm just really blown away by what the channels have been able to do this year. So I really thank you guys so much for the support and the insight and the comments, and I just learned so much from you guys. I appreciate the community that has been built on both of the channels and everything. Gonna keep making videos, gonna keep working hard, but all this stuff really does mean a lot to me, and it's just something that really motivates me to keep going. And it just shows that what I am doing is making a difference. You know, you see the numbers on the screen, it is what it is, but know that there's people who actually enjoy it and who leave comments and engage and stuff like that. Like I said, this is something that I can't even explain how much it means to me. And that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, give it a like down below. It helps me out a lot on YouTube algorithm, you guys, and also subscribe right down below if you want to see more videos like this. Give you the bell, you get a notification to your phone when I post, so you not miss when new videos come out. The first link down below in the description is going to be my latest main channel video. Check me out on there. I'm a lot more active on there, and I'm also going to have Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, and my TikTok as well. And that is going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.